Your salary is lying to you. Not about whether you have a job, not about whether you're productive, not even about whether you're earning a good income. It lies about something much more important. It makes you think you are safer than you really are. It makes you think you are richer than you feel. It makes you think you are moving forward when in reality you may just be standing still with a nicer number on your pay stub. Because your salary is only the starting line. It does not include taxes. It does not include rent. It does not include insurance. It does not include the car payment, the subscriptions, the groceries, the emergency repairs, and the quiet little lifestyle upgrades that slowly become permanent. So when you say, I make $80,000 or I make $120,000, that number sounds powerful. But the truth is, your life does not run on your salary. Your life runs on what is left after everything else takes its cut. And that is where the lie begins. When you get paid, the number looks clean, simple, decisive. It feels like proof that you are doing something right. But the salary number is a costume. It hides the real story. Because the number you see on paper is not the number you live on. The government takes its share first. Then health insurance takes its share. Then retirement deductions take their share. Then rent takes its share. Then transportation, food, utilities, debt payments, and every small expense that does not feel small when they show up together. That is why so many people feel confused. They have a salary that sounds impressive. They have a life that feels tight. And they cannot understand why the math never seems to improve. The answer is simple. Your salary tells you how much you earn. It does not tell you how much freedom you have. Those are not the same thing. The strangest thing about income is how quickly people adapt to it. You get a raise and for a moment it feels like everything changes. You breathe easier, you celebrate, you feel like you finally caught a break. Then a few months pass and the extra money is gone. Not because you wasted it all at once, because life absorbed it. Your rent went up, your car needed something fixed, your grocery bill got higher. You started spending a little more because you finally felt allowed to. A better apartment, a newer phone, better furniture, more convenience. None of it feels reckless. That's what makes it dangerous. The problem is not one large mistake. The problem is the quiet habit of upgrading every time your income rises. That habit turns every raise into a temporary emotion instead of a permanent improvement. And if every increase in salary becomes an increase in spending, then your financial life never actually changes. It only looks like it does. Most people think salary is supposed to create stability. That is the promise. Work hard, get promoted, earn more, feel safer. But salary has a built-in flaw. It rewards labor, not leverage. It rewards hours, not ownership. It rewards effort, not freedom. That is why so many hardworking people stay trapped. They keep trying to earn their way out of a system that was never designed to create wealth by itself. A salary can keep you alive. A salary can keep you employed. A salary can even give you a comfortable life. But a salary alone rarely creates financial independence, because the moment you stop working, the money stops too. That means your income is active, but your wealth is not. And if all of your security depends on the next paycheck, then you do not actually have security. You have timing. Your salary hides the true cost of your life. It lets you think in monthly numbers instead of lifetime numbers. It makes a $700 car payment feel manageable. It makes a $2,000 apartment feel normal. It makes a subscription, a restaurant habit, and a financing plan look harmless when each one is viewed alone. But that is not how life works. Your financial life is not one decision. It is the total of all decisions. A salary gives people permission to ignore the long-term math. That is why people ask, can I afford the monthly payment? Instead of, what is this really costing me over 10 years? That question changes everything, because a monthly payment can hide a very expensive future, and your salary is often the reason people never notice until it's too late. It creates just enough comfort to keep you from questioning the system. This is where the lie becomes obvious. Income is not wealth. Income is movement. Wealth is stored energy. Income is what comes in this month. Wealth is what keeps working after this month ends. You can have a high salary and no wealth. You can have a moderate salary and real wealth. That is why some people earning less feel calmer than people earning more, because calm does not come from the size of your paycheck. It comes from the size of your margin, the gap between what comes in and what goes out, the gap between what you earn and what you need, the gap between your current life and the financial trap that is waiting if one thing goes wrong. That gap is where freedom lives, and most salaries never create enough of it. Wealthy people do not treat salary like the destination. They treat it like fuel, a tool, a seed, a starting point. They ask a different question, not how much can I spend, but how much can I keep? Not what lifestyle does this salary allow, but what assets can this salary help me build? That's the difference. One person uses salary to upgrade their image. The other uses salary to upgrade their position. One buys comfort now, the other buys freedom later. And the person who buys freedom later often looks less impressive today. That's the part most people miss. Quiet wealth does not look exciting while it's being built. It looks boring. It looks repetitive. It looks disciplined. It looks like saying no to things everyone else thinks are normal, but that's exactly why it works. If your salary cannot be trusted to tell the truth, what should you trust? Your margin, your savings rate, your debt level, your ownership, your cash flow, your ability to survive if your paycheck stopped tomorrow. Those numbers are more honest. They tell you whether your life is becoming easier or just more expensive. They tell you whether your income is building a future or just maintaining a present. That's where the real answer lives, not in the salary itself, in what the salary is able to create. Because a high salary with no margin is still fragile. A lower salary with strong savings, low obligations, and growing assets can be far more powerful. That's not motivational talk, that's math. Your salary is lying to you, not because it's fake, because it's incomplete. It tells you what you earn. It doesn't tell you what you keep. It tells you what you make. It doesn't tell you what you own. It tells you what looks good on paper. It doesn't tell you how much freedom you actually have. And once you understand that, you stop chasing salary as the final answer. You start treating it as one piece of a much larger game. A game about margin, a game about ownership, a game about freedom. The people who win that game are not always the highest earners. They are the ones who stop letting salary define their future, because salary can buy a lifestyle, but only ownership can buy your life back.